We were actually in Israel this last Saturday when these brutal attacks happened on the communities in Gaza. We were in a hotel in the Dead Sea, and we became aware of these attacks by a little girl running into the breakfast room shouting, "Bang, bang, war." And then the stories started coming through of what was happening. We were beyond shattered. No, we didn't know what to think. The community of Kibbutz Be'eri was actually evacuated to our hotel. And we were able there to witness the heart-rending stories of these community members that escaped with literally the clothes on their bodies. I spoke to a man called Tom, an elderly man from the UK, whose 8-year-old daughter was missing. He was sure at that point that she'd been kidnapped with a little friend and was somewhere in Gaza. His heartbreak was just too much to comprehend. Since then, he's heard that his daughter was murdered, and for him, he says, is actually a relief. What Israel experienced on Saturday was beyond a brutal massacre. It was evil in its purest form, personified in the terror operatives of Hamas. It exposes the core genocidal agenda of Hamas. And I will say that I suspect possibly many amongst the Palestinians under the Palestinian Authority would act sadly in similar ways if they were given the freedom to do this. But we were grateful that there were Christians through the International Christian Embassy that have donated more than 200 bomb shelters, most of them placed in communities near the Gaza community area. And we trust that this has saved many lives during this attack. Even now, as I speak to you, there are millions of dollars from Christians around the world flowing into our head office in Jerusalem, and the staff on the ground are packing day and night whatever is needed to go to the communities, to the soldiers on the ground, and to help where they can. The horror story that is still unfolding is clearly also exposing the double standards and the agendas of those who have not even been able to bring themselves to condemn these atrocities, these gruesome murders of innocents, and who shockingly even infer that maybe Israel is somehow to blame. At least 44 nations have condemned these atrocities, and yet the ANC government is so deceived by the ongoing anti-Israel rhetoric that they don't care about human rights, they don't care about the rights of the elderly, of women and of children, if they are Jewish. The ANC is a blatantly anti-Semitic government, and for sure their days are numbered. Amen. It is maybe even sadder for us, however, that there's a church, and there are churches such as the Anglican Church's Cape Town Diocese, that has called for solidarity with peace-loving Muslim brothers against the scourge of the Zionist state of Israel. This is a racist statement in itself. The fact that they cannot bring themselves to condemn the human rights atrocities committed by Hamas speaks volumes about how far they have sunk into the mire of Israel hatred. But I want to tell you that there are millions of Christians around the world that believe that if you are a Bible-believing Christian, you have to be an ally of Israel, in thought, in speech, in prayer, and in practical support. We commit to continue to grow this movement of Christian support and also general support amongst those who are open to the truth, as we recognize that the battle for the truth will once again be the main battleground outside of Israel. I choose to encourage you today with scriptures from your own words, from your own scriptures, which state that God will redeem Israel out of her troubles, that he will be a shelter and the strength of the children of Israel, and that he will bring healing and health to your people and to your land. And I promise that there are millions of Christians around the world who will not keep silent, who will give God no rest until he establishes and until he makes Jerusalem a praise in the earth. Am Israel Chai, Od Avinu Chai. Amen.